What's up guys, Dr. Uz here from the Dr. Uz Talks YouTube channel, and today I wanted to talk to you about discounts and why you shouldn't ask small businesses for discounts. Right now, like a lot of these things there, I usually see something on a reel, or I basically see something on a on a video or something like that basically comes up, and it kind of triggers my thought process into thinking about these kind of things. Now, what I'm not talking about is going to a small business and saying, you know what, I want to buy 50 of the things that you sell. I want to buy 100 of the things that you can sell. Can you do me a bulk buy discount? Or, I want to pay in cash so you don't have to do the card fees, the 2%, 3%, whatever it is. So can you do me a discount for that? I'm not talking about those things. What I'm talking about is when somebody offers you the price for something, and the price for something is structured in a particular way, the business is making a certain amount of money, and from that, in effect, the owner is making a certain amount of money there on it, and then you ask for a discount on it there as well, just for no other reason than the fact that you just want a discount. You want to pay less. The way that this came up is basically, I was watching this one video, and it was about this guy, I think it's called Spudman or something like that, right? And in the UK, we have this thing like, jacket potatoes, right? Everybody loves jacket potatoes. You basically have a potato, gets baked, has this crispy outer lining, this like fluffy potato on the inside. See, my mouth is watering just talking about it, right? But basically has this kind of fluffy inside potato, and then people put like cheese or butter or, baked beans or whatever it is on it, right? And it's basically one of those kind of meals that you have like in the winter time, like a hearty kind of thing. Just fills you up, and basically, it's hot, right? And it's generally fairly cheap there as well. Okay, now, like most of these things, what's happened is this Spudman guy basically has become, he's put all of his stuff online. So he's become quite famous in the fact that he can now advertise like, oh, this is my business. This is, come and see me. And this guy has queues, like literally, like he was in, I think it's somewhere in Manchester or something like that. And there was queues like, like going back hundreds of meters, for people trying to get these baked potatoes, which to me is crazy, but good on him, right? But then I saw another video of his there recently, and this guy was like, oh, we get asked quite a lot, why do you charge X amount for your potatoes, right? And he goes, I'm gonna break it down for you. So he then went in and he broke it down, and he was like, this is how much the potato costs, this is how much the cheese costs, this is how much the beans cost, this is how much the butter costs, this is how much it costs to heat the van, this is how much it costs to pay my staff. He calculated the payment on his staff per potato. Like literally, like he's like, this person who works with me costs this amount per potato, right? He's talking about the packaging that it comes into there as well, all of that kind of stuff, the advertising, everything, right? And he basically then said, okay, that leaves us this amount for each potato, right? And when I watched it, I was like, yes, this guy gets it, man. He's like, business people all up and down the country running small businesses would be watching that being like, wow, this guy basically has explained it like fully. Like, this is the kind of calculations that you do when you're running a small business, right? So like I run a couple of small businesses, and I know this is how much it costs for me to get in raw materials. This is how much it costs for me for packaging to send these things off. This is how much it costs there for delivery, etc. This is how much money I'm making off it. This is how much money I pay for tax. This is how much money I'm taking home, etc. Right? So based on all of that, there's a calculation that has come to make sure that these businesses are viable, and so that you can actually go and make money off the business, because otherwise the business will not survive. Okay, businesses don't really survive generally by not making any profit, and even so-called not-for-profit businesses employ staff, right? So basically the staff get paid like a certain amount of money, right? So when you're looking at that kind of calculation, you're saying, okay, these are my fixed costs. So my fixed costs there are, the cost that it takes to heat the premises up, the electricity, the staff, the raw materials, etc. And then I've got my my variable costs that come on top of that there as well. So my variable costs there are going to be basically how much profit I can make, per good that I'm doing there as well. And also other things there, for example, like tax might change or etc. So you factor in all of those things, you factor in the amount of money that you're making there off it. And then if somebody comes and asks you for a discount for no other reason apart from the fact they want to pay less money for that, okay, what in effect that person is saying to you is, I want you to make less money on whatever you're selling or whatever service it is, okay? So say for example somebody comes in and it's like oh, I'd like my sink changed, for example. I want my sink changed in my house. So then they price it up there for you and they say, right, this is the cost of the tap, this is the cost of the trap, this is the cost of the sink, this is the cost of the piping, this is the cost of the labor, and here you go, here's your quote per hour, right? And it's going to take us this amount of time, etc., right? Now if you ask for a discount on that, basically what you're doing is you're saying, I want you to make less money. That's really what you're saying, because there are fixed costs that you can't change. You can't change the cost of the sink. You can't change the cost of the traps. You can't change the cost of the of the taps that you've got, right? So the only thing you can change is the amount of money that you make off that job, right? And that's not to say that there aren't businesses around the country that are scamming their customers. There are many businesses which make stupid amounts of money off nonsense. You don't have to go far on social media to see things like that Wakefield Wines guy or whatever, who's selling bottles of Prime there for £100 or £1,000 or whatever it was, or dessert places there that are selling like a bar of chocolate for like £25-30 or something like that. Nonsense like that. Okay, yeah, I can understand. But those places, nobody asks for a discount because they're going there to be part of this viral trend or whatever, right? The people who they ask for discount is somebody who comes and carefully maps out exactly there for you, this is how much this thing's going to cost. And the way that I would liken it is this: imagine if you're working for a company, right? Any company, like in the, say like a big supermarket like Tesco or something like that, right? Or another business, IT business or something like that. And at the end of the year, your bosses all call you into a room and they say to you, oh, you know what? We're going to pay you less this year, right? And and you say, what? Have we done something wrong? Is a business in trouble? What's going on here? Nah, just a few customers, they asked for discounts, so we're going to pay you less now. Just that's it. Wouldn't you be like, what the heck? But I've done the same amount of work. Business is profitable, whatever. Shouldn't I be getting the same amount of money? In effect, what you're saying is quite insulting. It's like, you earn too much money off this transaction that I'm doing. This is way too much. The amount of money that you're asking me is ridiculous because you have earned so much money off this that your fixed costs there are a certain amount, but I think that the amount of money that you're making is unacceptable. Okay, now that's quite insulting, right? It's quite insulting because, especially for somebody who's literally priced absolutely everything up there for you, most people generally are quite honest, and most people will not go and say to you, right, okay, I'm charge you ridiculous amounts per hour. If you want itemized things there as well, most businesses will kind of give you itemized things there. Some even give you an invoice of saying this is how much we paid from this wholesaler or whatever, right? And they'll give you a copy of that invoice there as well. Now, don't ask people to say you should be earning less on this job, right? Because if that person accepts, do you think that they're going to be making as much effort as they would have done there before? Because it's like you're saying that the amount that they're making is too much. You're basically saying that their work is not worth it. That they're that what they are earning is just not worthwhile. Their fixed costs are the same, but your variable cost, it's too much. To me, that's just crazy. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Do you get asked for discounts in your business all the time? I don't know. Until then, I'll see you again next time.